Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with Dave's Faves. I think this one is number 10, and it's a wonderful collection. You know, one of the things I'd like to talk about in this particular series is compilations, really good compilations, because there are billions of them, and most of them suck and are really badly put together, but there are some which are absolutely amazing. And the problem is they get lost. They get lost in your collection. You don't know what composer to put them under. I'm never quite sure myself. And you find someplace to put it, then you forget that it exists. It's really a problem. One way to deal with that, as I mentioned in my video on how to file, is to pick the composer whose work you care about the most and file it there. Or you could have a separate compilations section, which you also never look at probably. So I do want to talk about some of my absolute favorites, the kinds of disc you can or program if you're just streaming. You just listen to the whole thing straight through, and it has fabulous contrasts and color and texture and rhythm and lots of good composers and names you might not know, and that if you enjoy them, they would be worth exploring at greater length. Well, this disc has all of those things, and it is, as I pull it out here, Latin American Classics, featuring the New World Symphony and Michael Tilson Thomas. Now, remember when these came out, they were on Argo. There were a few of them. There were a couple. He did a couple recordings, actually, with the New World Symphony. He did a Villa-Lobos one for RCA, and he did this one for Argo, and there was another. There were a few of them, actually, a couple of them, I think. But this is the one that stuck with me. It's the one that I love. And the reason is because I just love Latin American music. I think it's fabulous. I really do. Terribly underrated. The reason I like it so much is because it's a youthful culture. The music is young and fresh and vibrant. And even if it's not really all that great, it's almost invariably fun to listen to and to play, I might add. I mean, it's just good stuff. And this disc contains, I'm just going to go through the list and tell you what's on it, and then you're going to go find it because it's just amazing. It's amazingly well played, stunningly well recorded. It's just great. You know, the New World Symphony was one of Tilson Thomas's projects, you know, where he went down to Miami and got this group and put it together, and they're wonderful, absolutely wonderful. So what you get here is all kinds of stuff. You get Carlos Chavez, the Sinfonia India, which is just wonderful. You all know how that goes. Da 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 yeah da 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 da. You know, and then it stops, and you get all the Mexican percussion. It goes. I mean, it's marvelous. So anyway, that's great. And then we get Copland, his Danzón Cubano, which is adorable. And then Amadeo Roldan. He's a wonderful composer. He only lived to be 39. His years were 1900 to 1939. So he lived to be like 38 or 39. And it's the suite from La Rembambaramba. That's what it is. And it's great fun. You know, tiny little movements. These are short works for the most part. They're not grand operations in large forms. They're suites and, you know, individual items that are just marvelous. Then we get Revueltas. Of course, we have Sensamaya, the chant one uses to kill a snake. Yeah. Oh, it's so cool. What a great piece. It's his most popular piece. It's about 6 minutes long here, and it's fantastic. And then we have Catorla, who also didn't live very long. His years were 1906 to 1940. Alejandro García Catorla, and his 3 Cuban dances, Tres Danzas Cubanas. They're just fabulous. I mean, what am I going to say? It's all fabulous. It's great. It's just great. And then we have Roldan again, his Ritmica 5, which is only 2 minutes and 42 seconds of Ritmica. Oh, it's just fantastic. And Piazzolla, Tangazzo, which is 14 minutes long. It's the largest work here. And Piazzolla, of course, was a major 20th century composer in his Fach, in his idiom. He divided his time between Argentina and New York. And, his music, of course, is extremely popular now, especially the tango stuff. And Tangazzo was one of his sort of late orchestral commissions, and it's really quite an extended piece. It's just marvelous. And finally, Ginastera, the suite from his ballet Estancia. And Estancia is a ranch, and it has the gauchos, the cowboys, running around all over the place. I mean, it's in four movements, but of course the most popular one is the last, the Malambo, which is more fun to play. Oh my God. Yeah. With your xylophone. Oh God, it's great. Absolutely great. And this is one of the best performances of it, by the way, I've ever heard. So I don't need to say anything more, except that this is one of those collections that you absolutely must own. And as you can see, it was reissued on Australian Eloquence because Argo tanked and Decca didn't care and Universal had no idea how good anything is. But thanks Cyrus Mayer Homji and Australian Eloquence, because they knew what they had, and this is just splendid. So it's Michael Tilson Thomas, the New World Symphony, and it's simply called Latin American Classics. You must own it because I own it, and if I own it, you have to own it. I mean, it's really very simple, isn't it? So keep on listening, folks. Thanks so much for joining me. Take care.